Hello there, my name is Luciano Oliveira, I am a Brazilian attorney, and today I'm going to be answering this question. I have overstayed my allowed time in Brazil as an immigrant for 5 years. Am I going to be deported, and what can I do about my situation? Before I answer this question, I want to let you know that nothing that I'm saying here is guaranteed to work in your case. For immigration, they have absolute discretion on how they are going to decide the case, so it doesn't matter what I'm saying, they still have the pen and they can have whatever decisions they want to have, particularly if you are overstaying in Brazil. However, based on our experience, even for people overstaying for long periods of time, there is still a possibility that all you're going to have is a penalty to pay, most probably the maximum penalty of 10,000 reais. As of today, this penalty would be $2,000. And if the immigration officer understands that there is some type of basis for you to overstay, and they're pretty lenient, so it doesn't need to be something extreme. It could be, some kind of explanation. I don't know, like I came to Brazil, I wanted to apply for a visa, but it didn't work. I've been trying to get back on legal status, but life happened and I couldn't get this done sooner. Chances are this immigration officer is gonna actually give you 60 days to rectify your situation in Brazil or leave the country. That's the most probable outcome, as long as you are, as you have like a decent conversation with the officer, as long as you're not aggravating the officer, as long as you're not aggressive, as long as you understand you are asking for something that they are not obligated to give you, right? So you need to be a nice person at this time. At least. If the interview goes well, again, they're going to give you 60 days to rectify your situation. And then you could apply for something like the digital nomad visa, which would give you a full year in Brazil with the possibility of applying for an extension of an additional year. You could apply, for instance, for a marriage-based permanent residency. You could maybe buy a property and apply for the permanent residency based on real estate investment. So there are different paths that you could choose to definitely take your life back on track. This said, there is also the possibility that this officer maybe is thinking, like this guy didn't respect, or this lady, she didn't respect the immigration laws, therefore I'm not gonna give them 60 days, I'm gonna actually give them 72 hours to leave the country. That would be difficult, particularly if you're paying the fine. If you're not paying the fine, like if you go to the Police Federal and you say, I'm not gonna pay this fine, and they realize you being antagonist, like they could give you a notice to leave the country in 72 hours. That's very rare. Most of the time, the immigration officer is gonna be trying to help you out. So as long as you're also helping yourself out, things should work at your benefit. Now, continuing with our answer, this scenario is like if you decided to take the initiative and go to the federal police to kind of fix up your situation with the immigration. Now, what about if you are, living your life in Brazil, but you're overstaying like 5 years down the road and you are caught in some type of situation? So most of the time, if you are, like interacting with regular police, like not the federal, you're dealing with the civil police, like we say in Brazil, a polícia civil, or there is the military police, polícia militar, which are the two most common police forces in the country. There is an extremely high chance that they are not going to even try to understand your immigration situation, because it's not something that they even understand, right? So there are so many ifs. So there is no single answer to the question that we are addressing in this video, but what I'm trying to provide is actually like some overview of the dynamics behind the scenes, so you can probably try to figure out your situation, or imagine what the outcome would be. And you also have an option to schedule a consultation with us, so once we know the big picture in your case, we can probably advise you on the best route possible. But again, Brazilian immigration has the prerogative to decide your future, particularly if you're not playing by the rules, like particularly if you're overstaying. So there are no guarantees, like we're not saying there is any guarantee that you're not gonna be kicked out of the country if they catch you, but we are sharing some of the experiences we've been seeing in our practice, so you may have maybe a better understanding of your situation. I hope this video was helpful, and follow us for more tips.